Hello everyone and welcome to Readers Go, where we nurture your reading culture. And today with me is a very special guest that I absolutely will love. I love what she reads and I love what she does. It's Madjda. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome with us to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while
Yeah.
that we wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And well, here we are.
Finally.
Yeah. I also want to thank the dojo for hosting us.
Yeah.
It's an amazing space. Do you like it?
I love it.
I have one question to begin with that I always ask my guests. Well, one guest so far, but you're going to be the second one and many more to come. What is your relationship with books?
I think my relationship with books is a teacher's relationship, like a teacher-student relationship.
Interesting.
It didn't start like this, but throughout the years, I'm learning that everything basically that I have, I acquired through reading and books. Like every knowledge I have, I started that journey to learning through books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So for you, books are a medium to learn?
It's not like learning just information, and it's everything. I learned how to be in my own presence. They provided a medium for me to be alone without feeling bored or feeling that why am I not outside like other kids since I used to be a kid? Why I'm not playing with them? And then it provided for me relatability. I saw myself as an angry teenager in other angry people. It provided for me also knowledge. Yeah. So it's not just a medium to acquire knowledge. It's a medium to acquire sympathy, to acquire
empathy.
Empathy, yeah.
So would you say that books help you understand the world better?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, how so? In details.
How so in details? I used to be insufferable as a teenager.
Okay.
I used to be a very angry one. I thought that I'm very special, that this pain that I'm feeling, angry teenagers.
When
a
you
lot
feel
of
like...
hormones, I couldn't take them.
Yeah. You feel like isolated, you feel like it's just your own problem, nobody else has that.
Yeah.
And it's
And then you
problematic.
start reading and you see that you feel relatable to a character. And the character didn't come from vacuum. Like it came through a writer that must understand what I'm going through. And then you read another book and it has the same context in a way or another, and you understand that, oh, this writer too understands what I'm going through. So I'm not alone. I'm not so special. I'm not so different. The world is full of people like me.
Yeah.
And through the experiences of the character in these books, you also understand that, oh, it's just hormones.
Yeah. It's just teenagehood and what you're going
teenager,
through.
I'm gonna get through it. It's just a phase. I'm gonna be better tomorrow. Yeah.
That's interesting. Is there any book that you remember that you relate to in this situation? What kind of books were you reading as a teenager?
I used to read I'm an insufferable person. I read a lot of classics. But why I'm talking about my teenage years, it's the phase where I read the most. I used to ravish books. Two very significant books for me were The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. And again, she's a depressed woman. I used to romanticize that. So I saw relatability. And then The Burning Girl by Claire Messud.
Yes.
Yeah. And I loved it because at the end, spoiler alert, at the end, she shows you that it was nothing. It was all in her head and it's a phase, and she got over it.
You get over it. Yeah. You get over life in general. That's quite interesting. Okay. Interesting pick. What kind of other books, maybe outside of that, you used to read? I'm pretty sure you have a range of books you used to read. What kind of genres, at least?
Mostly literary fiction, historical fiction. I had a phase where I read self-help. He made me so anxious.
Okay. Time out. Why ugh? We have to talk about that.
Okay.
Why ugh when it comes to self-help?
At first, it's because everyone thinks lowly of it. So I was ashamed that I'm reading it. Well, not at the time because it was the hype. But after it, I was ashamed to say that I read self-help books. But now, because I studied sports and we study a lot of behavioral psychology, yes, affirmations are good. Yes, we need to manifest things through words before we start doing them. But every single book that I read is a replica of the other book that I'm gonna read, and all the 100 books that I read before. And every book can be a 1 or 2 or 3 pages essay, and that would be enough to explain everything.
It doesn't have to be.
Why would you have to drag it to 400 pages and all these?
The price has to make sense.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I definitely agree with that. That self-help are way too dragged. That it's redundant. Right?
Yeah.
I believe at some point in life we do need them. For example, I would definitely see like a teenager who wants to start reading would start with something like Atomic Habits, for example. That would help them shape a view about like how mindful they are of their behaviors, etc., of their habits technically. But also, it's a very easy introduction into reading if they're not used to it, if they're not used to reading fiction, etc. But a lot of people argue that essentially you should only read, for example, philosophy, self-help, or non-fiction. Let's categorize
it's
that.
The same thing why I started reading self-help. Because yes, when I was a kid, I started with fiction, kids books. And then at a certain point where I was trying to be more productive, learn more, do a lot of things, it was stigmatized a little bit to say that نقرأ روايات, I'm a reader, استقرأ روايات. So I started reading nonfiction, which is the most productive thing to do. And nonfiction mostly was self-help books. Yeah, because reading should be a medium to acquire knowledge, and that's all. Which is not the case. We can learn a lot of things through fiction.
Yeah, definitely. Not just that. We can also learn so many things from fantasy. We can learn so many things from other genres. You can learn from horror, from any book. Essentially, any good, well-written book that has a message you can learn from. And on the other side, you think that nonfiction is all about pure distilled knowledge, but it's not. Some books are very like stale and don't give you any new thing.
They're like 400 pages self-help books,
right? Or like I remember we were in Sila. I stumbled upon 200 things successful people do, something like that, by somebody from Asia, a writer, and eventually you tell yourself, okay, if I do this 200, I'm gonna be successful. When you open and start reading, they just give you plain exercises, and that are mostly affirmations, and you just basically lie to yourself about things, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna say I'm rich and fake it till you make it. Yes, in a way, having that mindset is important. But if you don't get up to do the work, or for example, build the business ain't gonna build itself. That's not something books are gonna teach you about, I guess. Another thing I would love to discuss with you is how would you think, or how would you see your current transition, like from what you've read as a teenager to how you went maybe into early adulthood to how you are right now?
I think I'm coming back to my roots. I used to read for fun. And then I diverted and started reading for other purposes, wherever the purposes were. Like even 3 years ago, I used to read because reading is the ultimate exercise for a writer. I used to read to be able to replicate the styles of my favorite writers through writing. It served its purpose for the time, like self-help books served the purpose for a 19 years old me. But now I think because I also got a reading slump of 1 year where I haven't read anything. It was very difficult for me to pick up a book. It felt like a chore. So now, while I'm reading for fun, I'm reading whatever I think I will like and it will make me feel good. I'm reading like way more, and it's not about quantity, but
entertainment.
Yeah, I feel good when I read, which is the most important thing.
Which is indeed the most important, because reading, I think we treat reading as this sacred thing, and maybe as at a time where books were not available, reading was exclusively for knowledge. But thank God we have books, we have availability, and I think it's a great leisure, a great hobby. And your hobbies shouldn't be something where it has to be extremely productive and all. The good thing is books will be productive.
Yeah.
That, like, the good news, it has like an extra.
I'm having fun being productive.
Exactly, but that doesn't mean that it has to be 100% like that. And it's quite nice to go back to reading for fun, purely for fun. On the opposite, your reading slump year was my awful reading year, because I spent an entire year reading arcs from authors that come to me and request to read their book, which I absolutely respect. I madly respect the work that is being done behind the book. But that left me very skeptical about my choices of reading, the genres that I'm picking, all of that. And it's just excruciating. I would love to know if you've ever had any experiences where you just wanted to get rid of a slump and it just never worked, since you had a full year of reading slump. I'm pretty sure you tried getting out of there.
Yeah, I tried. And I did.
And it was awful.
And made the wrongest choice I can make, which is I started reading Little Life, and it was
interesting choice.
Yeah, because there was a lot of hype. It was 2022
around it.
There was a lot of hype around it on TikTok, so I was like, I'm gonna read this, and it was too long and it was too traumatizing.
This thick. So the book is this thick.
So every effort that I made to try to get out of this reading slump, it dragged me back to it, and then I just stopped. I stopped trying. And one day I just picked up a very teeny tiny book, The Profundis by
The Profundis
by Oscar Wilde, and he is one of my favorite writers. And I felt good about it because Oscar Wilde would never miss. And oh my god, it reminded me why I love reading.
Interesting.
The beautiful writing, the flawless prose.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty interesting. Huh?
From then on, I'm back to reading.
How many books do you read a year, average?
It's around 40, 50.
40, 50, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. How do you manage that? 40, 50 is like a book a week. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because I have these outbursts where I just start only reading, doing nothing. Like I'm having a vacation. Let me read from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And that's all I do. And I read 2 books in a day. I think it's being manic.
Yeah. That's the thing. So you have outbursts where you read a lot.
Yeah.
And eventually you have days where you don't read much.
Yeah, of course. I'm a busy person. When I'm working and having things to do, I rarely read. I also read a lot on commute. When I'm commuting to and from work, I read a lot. It's about also creating a system. When I created the system that I have to pick up a book with me on my bag, I have a book in my bag all the time. Whenever I'm waiting for something, like I ordered my lunch, I'm waiting for it, I'm gonna read. I'm on the bus, I'm gonna read. I'm waiting for the bus, I'm gonna read. So yeah, it's also, sometimes it's a commitment, sometimes it's pure pleasure, and I just want to do it.
Okay, but I guess at some point when you read a lot and you really want to read, it's sort of just blends within your daily life. Like you start telling yourself, oh, I want to read more, so I'm going to pick up a book with me, and then you find yourself reading at every corner where you have time. And maybe people dismiss that, like, oh, I'm waiting for the bus, maybe it's going to take 5 minutes, I'm just going to do a 5-minute reading, like 4 or 5 pages maybe max. But eventually, if you do that throughout the day, and it happens like 2-3 times, you already got 20 pages in, just waiting for stuff to arrive.
Sometimes you get hooked, so you cannot.
You can stop.
Which leads you to more reading.
True. Which brings me to another perspective about reading that I really wanted to discuss with you for a long time. It's about people who try to start a reading habit, but really can't stick to anything, to any system, I would say. Do you think that it's because you started early on that it was easier for you to just keep going? Or do you think people as an adult can actually implement that in their lives?
I think also, yes, it helped a lot that I started reading very early, because it became sort of a character. She's the reader of the family, so I must read to sustain that. But I think people who cannot stick to reading are not choosing good books, are not choosing what they would like. If they really chose books that speaks to them, I think they will stick to reading.
So you think it's a habit anyone can pick?
Yes, of course. It's a bit challenging, especially with our attention span, with scrolling and everything, and especially with the temptation. There's a lot of other things, real things to do, rather than staying and reading and fantasizing.
True.
Yeah, but it is a very easy habit to acquire. I think they should get some good recommendations.
Good recommendations. Yeah. Huh? Interesting. What would you recommend to an adult reader to start with?
It depends on the character. Depends on their
something character. For the majority, let's say.
For the majority, I frankly don't know. I cannot recommend something for everyone. Like a classic reader, I might recommend, as always, a very easy piece but very beautiful, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. For Greek mythology enthusiasts, I might recommend The Song of Achilles. It's a very beautiful book, very beautifully written. For a wannabe writer, I might recommend Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. It's a very beautiful book again, because opposite to everything that poets talk about, Rilke doesn't talk about doesn't talk about love. It's just something that I find fascinating. He speaks specifically about nature and God.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and it's very easy because, again, it's a translation from German, but also very,
I guess
very compelling and beautiful despite the translation.
Would you recommend any Algerian books for starters, for beginners?
That's my problem. I've been trying to get a bit into Algerian literature, but I cannot seem to do so.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, what is making Madjda not read Algerian books? Is it, for example, okay, I know that your style is mostly classics and modern classics, and you read mostly in English, right? But you also, for example, read translations.
Yeah.
From German to English, or Russian to English, etc. But what would stop you from reading Algerian?
I think it's a specific perception. I might be problematic a bit. Nobody can judge me. But I think there is a specific perception where I watched grown-ups in my family, like my aunts, read a lot of Algerian literature. And it's just, I perceived it from a very young age as something very inaccessible for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when I grew up and started developing my own taste,
You just drifted away from it.
Exactly. It drifted to the opposite side.
Completely, yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, it would make sense. I believe there aren't many subjects that you like to talk about that you would actually find in Algerian literature, because it's
recently,
like,
I don't know, I never explored, but recently I'm very interested in decolonization and reclaiming our heritage, our identity.
Yeah, I guess it's the wave that is happening.
Yeah, so yes, I would be interested, but I don't know from where to start, I guess. Again, because with all due respect, I'm not gonna talk about you, but the people we have on social media who recommend Algerian literature, I don't know, but I sense a bit of snobbery from them. I'm gonna be problematic in this episode. Yeah, a lot of snobbery and elitism, which is something I would never cater towards.
I think that has to do with the fact that most of the literature may be in a specific language, and that requires a certain level of mastery of the language. It's also written in a very specific style, and not every book is not every book is to be read, for example, by beginners. I think that is a core problem in choosing a book. Choosing a book altogether, it doesn't matter what kind of literature, but overall in our literature, I think, for example, that Arabic Algerian literature is way more accessible and it can be a great starting point. But what we see around is mostly, for example, when people want to recommend, they usually recommend writers who wrote in French. And it was during the wartime, and that was a very literary French that we don't necessarily have or use, because we just use French for speaking. So it's not maybe available for everyone, or at least even
it's not accessible.
It's not accessible, exactly. Maybe, for example, if we can also find translations, because, for example, you and I read a lot in English, because that's a language that we like to read in. That's a language that we find maybe more accessible. Honestly, for me, it was a lot about accessibility. At the time I started reading English as a teenager, the Wattpad, everybody knows about that. So it's it was mostly about, one, finding relatable stories, and two, about the simplicity of English compared to other books, etc. I'm still pretty good at French, but I've always found that as a barrier. And as you said, when it comes to, for me, it was French books in general, not just Algerian French literature, but also, like, for example, French literature, French classics. Even though I grew up needing to read them because that was like recommended by the house, but I was always like, this is my mom's book, this is my dad's book. I don't necessarily want to read that. And English, I would say, was like this sort of solace savior that was like, oh, I have an alternative, so I am reading books, just not your books. So yeah, but overall I think it's a good start to go with, for example, Arabic. There are many writers who are Arabic writers, Arabic Algerian writers, that write masterfully, beautifully, and there are also like a new wave of Algerian English writers that are trying to bring something new to the market. Sand Roses, that I think
I've read it.
You've read it recently, right? Way more recently than me. What do you think of that?
It's very good. I like it. It's a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Also, it provided me with a new window to my own history that I never heard about.
Yes. Definitely.
Who talks about dancers in our heritage,
especially in that perspective.
Yeah,
because you never really, well, maybe a little bit controversial, but we've always heard about our culture from a very colonialist perspective.
Yeah, I believe so.
And St. Roses was very fresh in that sense, where you see their daily life and their struggle and whatever is happening to them and how they perceive it and the way they perceive the other side. And it's quite interesting because it's not something to be put in an exotic way and all. No, it's their life. They're trying to survive, and That's the only way they found to survive. So,
and it's so shameless. I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
Hamza did a great job with that book. And what I like also is the writing style and the level of English that you get from the book compared to other books I received last year that were just.
It's like good. It's easy.
It's easy. It's good, but it's also.
It's beautiful.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It has like a well-written English and all. It's very good. Well, the author's level speaks of itself. But what I mostly hate, for example, when I receive arcs, is the writing style mostly. It's the fact
word blurb, like
Exactly,
yeah,
right?
word vomits, like the most snobbish words, like stick them together.
and they're there just to be there. It's not
Doesn't
very
serve a
well
purpose, yeah.
doesn't serve a purpose, or sometimes it's just very plain and simple and just high school level kind of English, and I'm like, this is a book, it's supposed to be literature for a reason. What would be your take on what you said earlier about reading as a tool for writers? How did it help you? How did it shape your vision, maybe, of writing?
I think it started the whole I want to be a writer thing.
Reading started that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And I believe that in every reader there's I want to be a writer, because you read this beauty and you're so fascinated by it. And for me, the only way it can manifest is that I want to produce something as beautiful as this. I want it to come out of me. I want to make it. So yeah, it inspired me to want to be a writer, and then it continued to inspire me to, oh, I wanna be as good as this person, or I wanna help people like this person helped me or helped other people. I wanna provide this relatability. I wanna serve my community in the same way that this author served their community, by talking about our own struggles. Or I want to fight something and I want to fight it through writing.
Advocate for something. Yeah. That's interesting.
So it's the whole reason for writing. Can a writer not be a reader? I don't think so.
I honestly believe it's absolutely impossible for a writer to not be a reader. Maybe if they were raised in a culture where they hear a lot of literature being said, maybe they would like pick up on it in another way. Maybe, for example, they would be poets. For example, people who are in the music industry, they are lyricists. Who write songs.
But it's very different.
Exactly, it's very different, but they're still writers. We're talking about writers in general.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, rappers. Some rappers have very good, strong vocabulary, but can they be writers? Can they actually be authors? Where like 300 pages book is being put out with very nice prose, with very nice writing. There's a style to it. There's a whole like interesting like intrigue, for example, a plot, etc., etc. I think honestly that when I was reading the book On Writing by Stephen King, I had a phase where I really wanted to start writing, and I was like trying to be productive about it. So I was like, let's read books about writing. E.M. Forster, this is how I discovered him. Stephen King on writing and all. It's he explains that in order for you to actually bring something forward, you have to get enough of it. You have to read, not just read simply, but read a lot at a crazy level in order for you to know what do you like, what do you not like. This is the style that you want to go for. This is the style that you want to avoid. Reading is also not about just reading good books. It's just about reading as a writer in order to know what not to do. So like reading bad books is also a learning curve if you want to be a writer. But I don't believe, what I disagree on with you is that every reader eventually is a wannabe writer. Some people just read for pleasure. They don't really see that they can produce something.
Yeah, I see that.
You see that?
I see it.
Okay. And what kind of writing do you write? Like, is it mostly something in the same themes that you read about, or is it something that goes a little bit away from it?
I think, well, I try to write mostly literary fiction. And recently, again, because I've been so introspective about my writing journey lately, because I finally made peace with it, is that what I'm reading right now influenced a lot the way I write. Even when I'm writing a specific piece for a very long time, where in this period I read different books, the voice actually changes according to the books I'm reading, while it's one piece. It's very fascinating. Of course, the general main voice is still consistent. It's the same. But the way I find new angles to present things, it's very different from a book to another book.
To another. That's interesting.
Very.
Have you ever finished any single piece of writing?
No.
Okay.
I'm so ashamed to say so, but no. I think because I was too ambitious, so I tried to write long pieces, and it's so unfeasible for me right now. Recently, I decided that long pieces are not for me, so I'm gonna start.
We're not gonna have a 300 book from Madjda anytime soon.
Not right now. But what I'm trying to do is write short pieces, and it's going amazing.
Short stories, short prose, short poetry.
Short poetry, not poetry. It's prose.
Prose.
Yeah. It's more we're on Earth.
Guys, I'm getting you an exclusive here. Okay, take notes.
It's more of on Earth to Briefly Gorgeous type of writing.
Oh.
It's like.
I know you love that book.
Amazing.
Yeah. So you like the writing style and you're going for something like that?
It just happened because
I think that suits you.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
I'm flattered to be compared to Ocean Vuong. Not compared, but to say that something Ocean Vuong wrote suits me.
Suits you.
It's amazing. And also short stories.
Okay.
Short stories are going amazing for me. Personal essays. You told me a very long time ago.
Yes.
That personal essays suit me better. You remember?
Yeah.
And I find it does.
I think it does. I think it really does because
I'm interested in myself.
No. I mean, yes, among other things, of course. But I think it's mostly about how we always interact with each other and how I always see your thought process being put out and what you tell me you're interested in and all, and how you also approach your reading. I see like how you approach your reading, the recommendations you do and all. And I'm like, essays would definitely be her thing. And but yeah, prose as well, maybe if you want to get a little bit more artistic, I would say. But that doesn't mean you can't write an essay that has prose in it or anything. You get creative with it. I really want to see a piece out of you. I know we had the chance to see something you published at Beyond Algiers, very like blurb kind of thing. So if you guys want to read some of her stuff, I'll link them below. But we want to see something.
On my Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
Shamelessly promoting myself.
I'll put it down in the screen so they can read it as well.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in the description as well. No, but like I like the way you see things. I like the way you see, for example, culture, society, social dilemmas, for example, and all. And that's why I always prompt you to write things, because there are things that we want to express that are done by other people, but there are also great minds that we have that just live among us, that have a perspective about things and also have a perspective about saying that thing. And I think that's the potential I see when I see Madjda. You see, I'm not trying to flatter you. This is just
I'm flattered whether you're trying or not. I'm gonna be flattered.
You're flattered. Okay, cool. So beyond all of that, where do you see your reading going further down the line?
I think yes, I would use reading for my writing.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise. But also, yeah, I'm gonna continue reading only for pleasure.
Only for pleasure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's gonna serve the purpose when I need it. But
two birds, one stone.
And whether it's for pleasure or not, it is already serving a purpose. I praise myself for being eloquent, although I don't seem here. I praise myself for being so eloquent, and I think my eloquence, I got it from
books, definitely.
Yeah, and I praise myself for having this introspection that I can actually look inside my brain and rearrange things. And I think I learned that through reading.
That's also from the quality of the books you read.
Yeah.
Not just because I can see somebody doing that when they read dark romance. But
exactly.
Definitely. But somebody who reads a lot of classics, modern classics, literary fiction, these books have a lot of themes like that, and they can help you channel that, whether consciously or subconsciously, maybe. Yeah. Your eloquence as well. I mean, we've had the chance to hear you talk in many occasions, and it has definitely something to do with the quality of books you read. Yeah. So that brings me to the next question. What have you been reading lately?
Oh, I'm a bit obsessed with Elena Ferrante.
Of course.
Yeah. I have to.
Listen, I have nothing against her. I've never read her. It's just...
It's too mainstream right now, and I understand that. But I think that popular books are popular for a reason.
Not all.
Hear me out.
Listen, Captive by Sarah Rivens was popular for a reason. It's a dark romance written by an Algerian girl in France.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've heard of the controversy.
It's dark romance. Mm-hmm. It's, of course, it's famous for a reason. I'll tell you about the reason.
Good marketing. That's the reason.
Oh, please. So I believe that when you see something that is hyped, mm-hmm. it's either serving a trend mm-hmm. at the moment, yeah, or it's being overly marketed by the the company, etc. They have good backup, they have good shoulders behind them, the whole publishing house, or it really is good and you're gonna hear it through the ages. Elena Ferrante is not something that is new.
Yeah, it is not new.
So I kind of understand your perspective on that. Mm-hmm. But not every mainstream book is worth it. Yeah. Colleen Hoover, for example.
I think it's about the quality of the people who are recommending the books.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, cool. I have specific sources to go to, like on my TikTok, whatever, on my YouTube, there are specific people that I watch who recommend the books. And all of them in the past year are recommending Elena Ferrante. So I had to see what is it about.
I agree, definitely.
And I read My Brilliant Friend, and it was amazing. And I read it in a phase where I was very interested in the subject of jealousy and competitiveness between female friends. And it was amazing. Like the writing is so beautiful, but it served the purpose of giving me an answer to my...
offered you perspective.
Yeah, exactly. And then, because I liked the style, recently, I read My Brilliant Friend a while ago. Recently, I'm reading The Lion Life of Adults by her.
The Land Life.
Lion.
The Lion Life of Adults.
Of Adults. And it's good. It's also about a teenager who is...
I never heard of them.
Yeah, who is...
My Brilliant Friend is very known, but...
Who is growing to be a young woman, and she finds a lot of difficulty into integrating into the adult world. It's amazing.
Relatable.
Very. Yeah, she feels very cheated and betrayed
by what they were told in their teenage years. By what we were told in our teenagers.
Exactly. Like... She was raised in a very innocent environment, and then when she grows up, she discovers really adults are not innocent. Yeah, and how she would handle this, like her being an adult means she will lose her innocence.
Well, yes, that's what adulting is.
Yeah,
you forget the child, and I think it's very beautiful. Where I can't remember who the author is, Saint-Exupéry, I believe, where he says that like some of us grew up, like what is beautiful about life, like about adults that are happy, is when they grow up but they don't lose their inner child, something like that. And That's quite interesting. Okay, maybe I'm gonna get into reading her. I really need recommendations lately. I'll tell you why. Ever since the ARCs thing happened, I've been trying to change also my reading style, my reading habits as well. And right now, it's like I'm rediscovering reading from scratch. It's a violent process because I've been reading books ever since I was young, and then it went up, 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 up. And then I did the challenges back in 2022, 2021, and then peak was COVID. And then just something about like reading lately, last year and this year, just it completely like went overboard. It's like somebody just, like.
It might also be because
Because
over that phase
yeah,
where you were reading arcs,
yeah,
you changed a lot as a person, so your preferences too changed. So there is the phase where you had
definitely
obvious preferences, and then the phase of the arcs, and now you don't know what are your preferences because the previous ones are not aligning with you right now.
Definitely not. Yeah. I've also like I became very skeptical about what I see is being promoted. Because every time I see a book being promoted, I'm like, what's the propaganda behind it? What's the agenda behind it? What's this? What's that?
I stopped watching Jack Edwards.
Exactly, right?
It became very commercial.
That's the thing. And I'm like, and I see that from influencers who just, for example, they snap a very beautiful vibe kind of pictures. Reading is not about it looking good. Reading is about the act itself. It's about what you're doing. I don't want it to look glamorous. I understand it has to be glamorous for the Instagram, for the YouTube, for something. It doesn't, but it's not what it is. Because when you read the book,
have you heard about that very famous magazine? I think it's in Washington, where they wrote an article where they recommend books for specific cases, and because it was prompted by AI,
oh my god,
the books were invented were an AI hallucination.
Oh
and
my
apparently
gosh.
after it there was another article who speaks that speaks about that case and speaks about people on TikTok recommending books while they didn't read them. No one reads books recently apparently, and they are recommending them. It's my job to recommend books, so I'm not reading them. And I'm doing like I'm creating a lot of videos where I recommend books. So how am I gonna do it? I'm gonna go on ChatGPT, ask them to give me a list of books for a specific thing and go talk about it.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and
they stoop so low.
Shamelessly doing it. Yeah, and it's a business.
I mean, yeah, I feel like AI has enabled people to do a lot of things they were unable to do before. It's not like I've seen people recommend stuff that they haven't necessarily read, but coming clean about it is also very essential. Like, I haven't read it, but I've heard a lot about it. A lot of people recommended it, so maybe you want to read it too. Maybe start with this or start with that. Maybe recommend a book you yourself DNF'd, but would be interesting for someone else. I did that before, where it's not my kind of book, but I know it will be your kind of book.
At least you know what is it about.
Yeah, at least the least you can do is maybe research the book. But going to an AI just to get recommendations is a little bit.
It was invented titles, like 10 titles, all invented hallucination.
But that's interesting. Being able to see that AI has limits and you should actually do the work instead of just provide. And it was on a news, on a magazine.
On a magazine, like a very prestigious magazine. That's why it became such a big deal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there you go.
حتى نيويوركر داروها.
The New Yorker?
Yes.
Oh my god.
صح, apparently there was like a very teeny tiny sellout. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't wrong camera, but still.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
I love it when we talk about books. We do that a lot, and
our daily talks.
Our daily talks. It's true. Our daily talks do involve books all the time. Whenever we meet, there's that ritual where what's on your bag, what's on my bag, and we're like, okay, I'm reading this book, I'm reading that book. But I know also that we read very differently.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily pick the same things. Lately, I've been picking modern classics because of you. I would love to know what's your take on modern classics.
Like, what is my take? They are beautifully written books. Not all of them, of course. They withheld the test of time, so
they became classics.
It says a lot. Yes, there are a lot of things that we shouldn't agree with because they are, after all, the product of their time.
Of course.
And times change, you know. But like, apart from that, if each book is different, whatever the genre it belongs to.
Okay.
So we cannot judge a whole genre. We can only judge a book like case by case.
So last time you recommended to me Steinbeck.
Yeah.
The Grapes of Wrath.
Oh my God.
You recommended James Baldwin.
I didn't read The Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah, but you recommended it because I think you've read Steinbeck of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men.
And you said you liked his writing style. Eventually, I took it because on the other side it was written Booker Prize, and I was influenced. So half of it was you, half of it was the cover, and I was like, why not? And I've been meaning to read Steinbeck. You also recommended Baldwin. What can you give me 3 other recommendations for modern classics?
Modern classics. Have you read The Secret? I know you're against a bit of
The Secret History.
The Secret History.
Okay.
I'm not a thriller reader myself, and it's not that much of a thriller, to be honest. It's more of I'm a person who is like attracted to good writing.
I agree.
And this is a very beautifully written book. Like, the language is amazing.
Donald Trump is a good writer.
Are amazing, and the vibes are amazing. There is a big part for vibes there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. That's one. My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante.
Okay. I will read Elena
because Ferrante. It's very recent, so the mark is very fresh in my heart right now. A third book. So I read Orientalism by Edward Said.
Oh, I was so sure you would say that. Okay. And I was like, maybe
it's very different from the things that I read usually. But
it's a nonfiction.
Yeah, it is nonfiction.
How did you end up on that?
How did I end up? Well, it was the beginning of the Palestinian 7th of October, the Israeli attack on Palestine. And I started scrolling on TikTok, and because I consumed a lot of content about Palestine, I stumbled upon a lecture by Edward Said, and I loved the way he speaks. He's amazing.
Yeah. I saw a few videos of his.
Very convincing. He looks very well read. Like, the way he speaks, it's someone who is confident in what they say. And I went and ordered the book.
Interesting.
And started reading it, and it already aligns with a lot of the things that I'm interested in, and a lot of my views to colonialism, to us as people, as product of post-colonial phase, to us, our generation, and with this wave of reclaiming our heritage and our identity and our autonomy, most importantly. And I really loved it because it shows you how colonialism in general, not just in the Orient world, but everywhere else, shaped how they see the colonial people, how they see themselves, and us, the colonized people, how we see ourselves. And I agree with it a lot.
Okay.
So it was very good. I became very insufferable after it. And whenever someone does something, I just call them Orientalists, whether it's us or them.
So you embraced the whole.
I really embraced it.
Okay. Now you're making me really want to read it.
Yeah.
I've never read it. I've read a few excerpts of it. Quite an interesting view that he has, and I really like the way he sees things, mostly the way he presents it.
You're very interested in the way he sees things?
Yeah, quite interested in the way he sees things. Probably will read it after Elena Ferrante.
I recommend this very much.
I need to read it, yeah. So, to end our episode, what would you recommend for readers in terms of habits if they want to start reading, or if they want to start, for example, a reading journey, let's say? How can we nurture the reading journey?
First of all, there is 3 things, very simple things I want to recommend. First of all, really, really, really do your research before you acquire any book. Before you start reading any book, do your research. Know very well that it speaks about something that sparks joy for you, or spikes an interest or curiosity for you, because you don't want to start with something you're gonna hate.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and second, pick that book with you wherever you go. Like you said, 5 minutes. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, those 5 minutes where you are waiting for your bus, pick it up, perform for the public, read in public, look mysterious and hot while reading and well educated. Yeah, and then the third thing is that annotate. Oh my God. Whether on your phone or your memos, if you're one of those people who hate writing on their book, or if you're like me. Yeah, thank you. Someone who thinks that books should look like they were
well read,
well loved.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a life. Write on your book. Write whether the writing is beautiful, write that this specific line was very beautifully written, in your opinion. This sparked
highlight.
Yeah, this sparked like an idea. Write what is the idea. This sparked a feeling. Write what is the feeling. Like, communicate with the book. Have a relationship with it.
You kind of brought me a memory back of last year when I was reading Osamu Dazai, No Longer Human.
Yeah.
It was so hyped, and I was very curious about it because the themes it has, I was curious about. So at first when I started reading it, I was really angry. And I was like, I'm not finishing it. What did I do? Why did I buy it? And I put it out. And then I was 20 pages in. Although the writing style was interesting to me, but I just didn't want to finish it. And then I was like, I'm going to go back at it, but I'm going to annotate this time. And it completely changed how I saw the book. Yeah. Because as some ideas were making me rage inside, I just wrote that down. I was like, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with it. And I wrote so much that I actually had the little space was not enough. It's one of the books that I had to bring post-its with, just to write all of that anger as I processed the book. And then I was like, actually, I know why I don't like this idea. I know why I don't like that idea. It helped me process so many things. So let's recap. Do your research.
Pick it up with you wherever you go.
Pick wherever you go, even if you go l'ars.
I read on weddings.
Hot take, read on weddings. It's very important.
It's a very long time where you do nothing but.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even if it's like a cousin's wedding, etc., you're gonna just be sitting in the house and not helping because everyone is helping. Pick your book. Yeah. That's all. And annotate. Annotate. I'm glad that you said annotate because I really love annotating. And many people, I don't know, many people don't see the importance of it, but you can see it right away. Because in the beginning you're like, I'm just annotating something I like. I'm just annotating maybe a phrase. Sometimes it doesn't really have to make sense.
I actually discovered that I understand the book that I annotate more than like sometimes a whole page slips from my brain of a book that I'm not annotating, but a book that I annotated, I remember exactly what I liked and what I didn't like.
Yeah. And I can, for example, provide better recommendation. I can quote it back again if I read it enough times.
And I can tell you actually why I didn't like it.
Sorry?
I can actually tell you why I liked it.
Exactly, like in a deep way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode, my dear. Thank you so much, Madjda.
Thank you.
Everybody, you will see in the description the books that we mentioned. You will also have her socials if you want to follow her. I recommend you follow her. She does book reviews every month in her stories, very introspective about every book, and that is quite interesting. Madjda, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, as always, and I'll see you guys in another episode. And you as well.
I'm not gonna see you. Bye bye.
You take care. Let's go.